Shalom, Hebrews. This is Israel been Israel for the Israelitebrotherhood. Okay, Hebrews, man, I'm always talking about the males and the things that we do, and the things that we do, the things that we did. We know that the land was basically controlled by males back in antiquity. In the promised land. Males controlled, the promised land, and it was a male thing. In Egypt, they try to, you know, have women and male ruling and so forth. And then, I believe that was going on in the Mesopotamian area too, you know, and how we Israelites, that the Creator, because He made Adam first, and we was a continuation from Adam's rule and prophet Adam's lineage, that the male was ruling, and we was a reflection of that. Us Israelites was a reflection of males ruling, being that the Creator made Adam first, and when a male ruled and was ruling and in rule, then that is a reflection of Almighty Yah's creation in order. Now, this what I want to give honor to, because we had some Hebrew women. Man, we had some Hebrew mothers. Man, that was just as strong as the male leaders. And the Creator worked it through them. And matter of fact, a couple of them saved the Israelite nation. And then if it wasn't for these women, and these women are extraordinary. I'm talking about, man, they written down in Tanakh history, man, they name living forever. And look, it was other groups of people and ethnic groups, that they, had women, and how that they was highlighted also. Edom went off and to the Hittites, and then the women that he was associated with, they was named and so forth. But I want to give honor to our Hebrew mothers. Not all our mothers were Israelites. And they ain't got this in the order that it should be, because our mother Miriam should be, right over here. You know what I'm saying? Up under Rebecca, our mother Rebecca, and you know what I'm saying, they ain't got it in the right order. And but I want to give honor to our mothers, because our women are strong, man. The Hebrew women is real strong. That's like now in captivity. Now we know that our enemies are not gonna elevate the males as a whole, and because that'll be giving the men, while we in captivity, that'll be giving the men, what I'm saying, a chance to be on equal par with our oppressors. So our oppressors always elevated our women, and moved our women to the top. And Almighty Yah even said that would happen. How, what I'm saying, that a woman would, would progress a man, and then how that was like something new. Men on the earth are dealing with the Israelites, because the males always took care of the business. And then it's kind of like a curse, man, to find yourself in a situation being a male, and even here in captivity, where if your woman have to provide for you and take care of you and so forth. I mean, that's a curse for a Hebrew male, because we come from, what I'm saying, a line of males that that held it down, especially Prophet Abraham. When he was out in alone, and it was nations and armies functioning during his time, and how Prophet Abraham believed in Almighty Yah, and then how Almighty Yah blessed him with a strong woman. You know what I'm saying? Sarah, our mother, and she was even so strong to where that, she knew that she couldn't have children at the time that she made sacrifices. The Hebrew women make sacrifices and been making sacrifices for a long time, and it's showing Tanakh history how our mother made a sacrifice, and how she allowed the our father Abraham to have a child by that Hamite. And then being that, that she was loyal to her husband, Prophet Abraham, that Almighty Yah blessed her and blessed, because Prophet Abraham was loyal, and then our mother Sarah was real loyal, and then I'm going to tell you how she was loyal, because when Prophet Abraham went down into Egypt, all around, man, back in the days, man, you got a beautiful woman, man, them folks would kill you back in the days. They'd kill you, they'd kill the male and take the woman. That's just now. That's like a whole lot of males are lucky now. They got pretty women walking around and stuff, and then they think they all cool and tough. I'm here to tell you, back in the days, man, they'd kill you and take your woman. And then that's just that on that. If you wasn't man enough to hold it down, 9 out of 10, you finna lose your life over your woman, especially if she look good and stuff. Oh, man, they finna kill you and take her, man. That's just how it is. And then it might go back to that if this country was to collapse and war was to break out all around the world. And then you know how they got those futuristic movies and stuff where people riding on homemade vehicles and warring and stuff, and then how they snatching folks up and women and cities devastated, and how the people surviving in the ruins. Ah, man, you set to lose everything if you ain't a man. If you ain't a man and you ain't got no little army and y'all together and you walking around with your woman, ah, man, they finna kill you, the male, and they finna take the woman. That's just how it is. That's been going on since ancient times, and the only reason it ain't going on now is cause this administrative culture, and they got another way to take the women from the males, and it's from the economic system that the Amorites got set up. They can get the women without violence. Now they got her mind. The Amorite culture do. All right, but listen, our mother Sarah was extraordinary, means super strong, because, like I said, she let Prophet Abraham, have a woman, and then have some children by it, and then the same with our mother Leah and Rachel, how they let Prophet Jacob have, what I'm saying, the the helpers, the maiden, and I didn't add them, and I apologize, Hebrews, and them were our mothers, and they were equally, should be highlighted and so forth, but because the handmaids, Belial and so forth, how they contribute to the tribes of Israel, Prophet Jacob, other wives and so forth. And then most of all, man, I want to give honor to the sister Deborah. Oh man, Deborah, oh man, no stronger sister than her, and how she saved the Hebrew nation. You know what I'm saying? The Israelites. And then, like I say, not all these women were Israelites. Uh uh Sarah wasn't an Israelite, Rebecca wasn't an Israelite, and Rachel or Leah or Rachel. The sister Deborah is gonna be an Israelite. The sister Esther gonna be an Israelite, and Hilda is gonna be an Israelite, and that sister right there. Oh man, if it wasn't, if we would have listened to her after King Josiah made an attempt to clean up the Egyptian worship that was in the promised land during King Josiah time, if we was, if we'd have listened to her, we wouldn't have been enslaved now. And how this sister told us that it was over. I might read that little history, you know what I'm saying, about her and King Josiah. And then like I say, I should have had our mother Miriam. And then this is an Israelite that I should have had our mother Miriam, you know, men on the other side, and how that, you know, that after Exodus, that this sister had a great task man on her shoulders, and how she helped Prophet Moses lead the Israelite nation. Now that's coming from Exodus, that Almighty Yah, man, allowed a woman to help, you know, Prophet Moses, you know. And then, man, the sister Hannah. Oh man, I want to show y'all something about, you know, how our enemies been playing the cold game. You know, I'm gonna talk about our mothers, but I want to get this in. I could make a whole video, man, about, you know, the Ephrathites, and those are the Ephraimites that settled in Judah and lived next to Judah, and how the tribe of Judah and Ephraim would mix and they would become Ephrathites. You know, they was more Ephraimites and had an Ephraim lineage than they did a Judite lineage. And then how about when our enemies be saying King David is Rudy? You know, that's why come they hurried up and knock King David down. You know what I'm saying? That's like I say, excuse me for a minute, and I want to get this covered, and how I can make a whole video, man, about this alone. Man, about how that they, you know, use deception on the identification of the peoples in the Tanakh history to hide their association with the color issue. What I call, and I say Hebrews had all different kind of pigmentations, but how our enemies, you know, when translating our history, and how, you know, and it's mostly the Christian translators that translated our history, that after they translate our history, that they try to promote a European ethnicity of the characters in the Bible, our forefathers. And one of the main ones that they do that with is King David. You know, how they try to say he was Rudy, and then, you know, not knowing that word that they translated it from mean that he was vibrant and manly, you know, but they gonna try to say that he was Rudy, trying to give you the impression that he was white. Like I say, I can make a whole video about this, but I'm gonna just knock this out real quick, man, before I go into the scriptures. And I want to show how King David was from the tribe of Ephraim in Judah, and then if he had any Ephraim ancestry to him, that we know that the Ephraimites' mother was an Egyptian. You know what I'm saying? And we know there were no Europeans in Africa during the time that the Israelites were in Egypt sojourning in bondage, and that it wasn't no Caucasians there, and that the priest of own descendants and people who function the priest office in Egypt, man, they all can be shown, man, to be deeply pigmented people. And then so we know that the priest of our own daughter, man, is gonna be what they call a black woman today. I hate using that word black, but a pigmented woman that had pigmentation. And then if she had pigmentation, that her children gonna have it, with which we know the Israelites, you know, were all pigmented people anyway, you know. And that the only people that wasn't pigmented was gonna be the Canaanite tribes, as outlined in Tanakh history in the book of Leviticus. And I'm gonna tell you that ain't nobody running no games and no joke on the Israelite Brotherhood with this Israelite history. You can hang it up, and then how that what I say is kind of like a law, and that it's gonna be that way. And if I say it's this way, that it's gonna be that way. And how I can show in Tanakh history in Leviticus how the Creator described leprosy, and which is another form of Tazarat, but how that was in the land of Canaan when we come there, and we was given instructions on how to deal with it. The first medical technology, being wrote down and stuff on how to deal with certain illnesses and diseases, and some of them Canaanites that didn't have no pigmentation had all kind of issues and stuff wrong with them because they cohabitated with folks that was in caves, and they was in caves also in mountains and so forth, and then they had mixed in with the uh, Cain descendants, Sir and the Hittites and all them. They're the same as with Edom, and then that's like I got a video showing how Edom mixed in with the no pigmented people and so forth. But this what I can show Hebrews is how that when they be trying to say that King David, you know what I'm saying, I'm killing the rooted lie. You know what I'm saying about King David. How they say King David was rooted. King David was rooted. Now, this what I want to show that King David was a daddy. Jesse was an Ephraimite. Now I'm talking about if he from the tribe of Ephraim, and we know that the tribe of Ephraim, you know what I'm saying, man, what's the pigmented peoples without question. So whenever somebody say, oh, King David was rooted, he was a white person and all that old crazy stuff, all you got to do is just take them to 1 Samuel chapter 17, and then when you get down to verse 12, when you get down to verse 12, man, it's going to show you that King David, you know what I'm saying, was an Ephraimite, that his daddy Jesse was an Ephraimite in the Judite mix. So it ain't gonna be no question, man, if King David wasn't rooted like they try to say, because we know that the tribe of Judah, gonna be, that they all got the same mother, you know what I'm saying, and the same father, Israel, and so forth. All right, but you see right here, when our enemies say King David is rooted, King David is rooted, and that misspelled plant word in English, how like I say in Hebrew, all so that when they translated our history, that the enemies who spoke Hebrew didn't speak the Hebrew that we spoke. You know what I'm saying? That's like how we got slang, what they call ebonics. We got a different form of English off the English. Well, when we spoke Hebrew and had different meanings for words and expressions, our enemies are not us. That's like the word black. Black can mean bad. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, the word bad. Man, that's bad. And bad can mean good and something nice. And then how that applied to the Hebrew when our enemies translated our heritage. That's like some Hebrews be saying, man, this mean this mean that. And I be like, man, it's best to kind of know the whole story, meaning of what happened, and then sort all that out as you go. But you can't say what they translated that word from and what it originally mean, even though it might be close. Our enemies are slick. So then that's how that they use their word Rudy and stuff, and snuck that in to try to make you think that King David was a non-pigmented person. But if you look at 1 Samuel 17, and then you get down to verse 12, and it says, now David was the son of that Ephrathite. Look, you see that Ephrathite? That's going to be the tribe of Ephraim right there. That's going to be the tribe of Ephraim. Look, now David was the son of that Ephrathite of Bethlehem, Judah, whose name was Jesse. Jesse lived in Bethlehem, Judah, but he was an Ephrathite. You know what I'm saying? Those are going to be the Ephraimites that mix with the tribe of Judah. Now they close. Now they real close. Now I could show that a whole bunch of people a whole bunch of our ancestors. Man, I think Helder, Hannah gonna be the Ephrathite. You know what I'm saying? From the tribe of Judah and Ephraim. Her husband was. And then out pops Prophet Samuel. Prophet Samuel. And then whenever you see that Ephrathite name, just know that that's a Judite in the Ephraimite mix. But they heritage mostly lean on the Ephraimite side. On Ephraim's side. And then that's going to be Joseph, baby sons, and we know that the tribe of Ephraim ran the whole northern kingdom. 85% of the activities in the northern kingdom was by the tribe of Ephraim. And look, you see right here, look how Ephraim is right there with Judah. Real close, man. I'm talking about, man, they close. And then when they say Bethlehem, Judah, man, that ain't nowhere, man. That ain't nowhere, look. But this where the tribe of Ephraim, men will be right there, and they'll mix with them. Some of them tribes of Ephraim moved on their side, you know what I'm saying, into Judah's inheritance. You know what I'm saying? If the tribe is real active, and you know what I'm saying, and that's like these names of the tribes, that's like now, the us Israelites that are called by our slave owners last name, like the Smiths, the Johnsons, and the Jacksons, and all them all names, and how to be a whole bunch of them in one area, and how they all kin to each other. Well, our names were from our fathers, and it was the same way. But sometimes some of our people go mate with what I'm saying, our other people, and move into the other areas. And then that's what the tribe of Ephraim did with the tribe of Judah. And you're going to find a lot of leaders, man, from there. So you see that King David's father, Jesse, was a Ephraimite Judite. You know what I'm saying? And they probably start leaning more on the side of Judah, but they let his origin. You see, so that killed that rooted story right there, and then we can look and see what the tribe of Ephraim meant. They'll tell you. Man, they'll tell you. Let's see, Ephraim, Ephrathite. You know what I'm saying? They gonna let you know that that's from the tribe of Ephraim. Ephraimite, Ephrathite, you know what I'm saying? And that's they parental, origin, but an Ephraimite, you know what I'm saying? And they'll let you know. And then let's see. All right. This article lets you know. All right, Rachel's, let me see. Man, just a whole bunch of all the main actors in Judah gonna be a mixture of the Ephraimites in Judah. You know what I'm saying? That's like the tribe of, man, maybe let me show you. I want to get the definition out the way so then that you'll see that the Ephrathites were Ephraimites that lived in Judah and so forth, in Bethlehem, Judah. So whenever you see a Ephrathite, those are Ephraimites that mix with the tribe of Judah. And Droboham would be one. Droboham would be one of those, from the tribe of Ephraim. Droboham would be from the tribe of Ephraim. Look, Ephrathite. Ephrathite, you know what I'm saying, is a Ephraimite. All right, northern Benjamin and the other north of Bethlehem. It possessed that Ephraimite families migrated to north of Judah, settled in the Bethlehem district, and were called Ephrathites after their place of origin. But they was from the tribe of Ephraim, and then that's gonna be what King David, what daddy was from. So if King David daddy, man, got a distant Egyptian heritage on his mother's side, and I can show that Joseph, I can show that prophet Joseph, wife given to him by Pharaoh was from the tribe. You know what I'm saying? That his son was a tribe of Ephraim. That his sons that he got from the Egyptian woman was from the tribe of Ephraim. And then if you go to Genesis 41. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zephaniah, and he gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On. And like I say, man, she the daughter of the priest of On. Man, them some straight up Hamites, black, dark Hamites. So, that lineage will go over in the King David lineage. All right. And unto Joseph was born 2 sons before the years of famine came, which Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On, born to him. And Joseph called the name of the first Manasseh, for he had made me forget all my toil in all my father's house. In the name of the second he called Ephraim, for Yah had caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. But you see, Ephraim is Joseph's son. So we know that the Ephrathites are from the lineage of Ephraim that mix with the Judites. And man, it is quite a few individuals, you know what I'm saying, that the Creator worked it through, that was of the tribe of Ephraim. The prophet, I mean not the prophet, but yes, prophet Samuel, Joshua. You know what I'm saying? Joshua, he was from the tribe of Ephraim. He was an Ephrathite. Oh man, it goes on. Let's see, man, if I can find something and show this. Show a little of this. So when they be talking about King David, King David is a man. Even the sister Deborah, who I'm gonna talk about and read her history, she was from the tribe of Ephraim too. Look, and Deborah, a prophetess wife of Lepidot, she judged Israel at the time, and she dwelt under the palm tree of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel in Mount Ephraim in the children of Israel. So she kicking in Mount Ephraim. Man, that's where basically all the leaders and so forth come from. And then I can show, the sister Hannah. Let's see where the sister Hannah, the sister Hannah at. And then Hannah gonna get, and look, Ruth. How about Ruth and them? Ruth and them, Ruth sons, Ruth husbands who she married, they was from the tribe of Ephraim mixed with Judah. And Ruth, she was a Moabite, but she was kicking it with some Israelites that was from the tribe of Judah and Ephraim. Look, now it come to pass in the days when the judges ruled that there was famine in the land, and that is in our land, you know what I'm saying, on our side, you know what I'm saying, of the Jordan. And a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to sojourn in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons. And the name of the man was Elimelech, and the name of his wife was Naomi, and the name of his 2 sons Mahalon and Chilon, Ephrathites. You see, Ephrathites mean they gonna be from the tribe of Ephraim mixed with Judah, of Bethlehem, Judah, and they come into the country of Moab and continue there. But you see how, you know what I'm saying? The tribe of Ephraim, man, is everywhere. And then as you read that story, man, you'll see how, you know what I'm saying, that the sons died, and then how that Ruth stayed with Naomi and stuff, and then how that they would go back, and then I think that, you know what I'm saying, that they would go, go go back, and then how Boaz was, you know what I'm saying, her kindred. He was a Ephrathite from the tribe of Ephraim too. Boaz, that's gonna be where Jesse from, and then Jesse, that's King David daddy. But you see Boaz, man, right there, the kindred, you know what I'm saying, of Naomi and Emily, who was Ephraimite Judah. So, you know, those are pigmented peoples right there, all of them. You know what I'm saying? And man, our enemies, man, whenever they come try to pull their Rudy stuff, I'm gonna make a video how to kill the Rudy lie. How to kill the Rudy lie. You know, I'm showing you now. But you see, Boaz gonna lead to Jesse, and Jesse gonna lead to King David. But you see how they was from the Ephrathite. And then look here, let's see about Samuel. Now there was a certain man, Ramoth Zophim of Mount Ephraim. Look, I already letting you know Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Joram, the son of Elu, and the son of Tu, and the son of Zuppah, and Ephrathite. Look, you see that Ephrathite? That's gonna be from the tribe of Ephraim. And he had two wives, and the name of the one was Hannah, and the name of the other was Peninnah. So we know that Hannah, our mother Hannah, who I was gonna read about, had was from the tribe of Ephraim mixed with Judah. So, you know, she got African ancestry. You know what I'm saying? And how she was from the tribe of Judah and Ephraim, and then how the prophet Samuel would come from her, and how she dedicated him to the temple. So he gonna be from the tribe of Ephraim, prophet Samuel. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be from the tribe of Ephraim, and then we know Saul come about, and then King David, and we know that King David lineage go to the tribe of Ephraim also, as I showed that his father Jesse was an Ephrathite, and the Ephrathites are from the tribe of Ephraim. So whenever our enemies is talking about uh, uh King David is Rudy, you know what I'm saying? You got to show them, you know what I'm saying, that his daddy was mixed with the tribe of Ephraim. That how could he be Rudy? It's impossible. All right. Now, like I said, man, you know what I'm saying, we want to give honor to our Hebrew mothers. That if it wasn't for our Hebrew mothers, man, that we couldn't have survived and made it at it as a Hebrew nation, especially with our mother Rebecca. Oh man, she saved the Hebrew nation. Now I already explained how our mother Sarah was strong, because, you know, she was with Prophet Abraham, and she could have deserted him at any time and went over to strength. And then how Pharaoh was the strongest thing around. Pharaoh was the strongest thing around back in the days. You know, Egypt, man, he controlled Egypt, had a standing army, and whenever he wanted a woman, that was that on that. But how did he didn't molest our mother Sarah when they took her up, because she was so fine. She was so fine, and then they snatched her up. You know, she's probably brown and beautiful. You know, like the skin color that the Hebrew women have today. You know, and then how did, you know, Pharaoh took her up, and then how did she could have stayed with Pharaoh. Man, she could have stayed with Pharaoh, but how she got back with her man, Abraham, and Abraham wasn't doing too good. It was a famine in the land that drove him into Egypt, and then how the Pharaoh gave him everything, but how that at first she could have stayed with Pharaoh, and man could have just stayed with him, because Pharaoh had all the strength. It was guaranteed food and luxury. And some women like that. They'll sell out men for food and what they think is security, and then, you know, they'll leave the real strength they man, you know, who got spiritual strength. You know, that spiritual strength connects you to Almighty Yah. And then how our mother chose that over the material wealth that Pharaoh could have provided for, and how she got back with Prophet Abraham, and then how that, they went on back to the promised land. And then we know that how our father Abraham told his servants, men, to go look for his son Isaac when the Creator blessed our mother Sarah with Isaac. And then I could read that story, but I'm sure everybody know how it go. And then how Prophet Abraham's servants went to Mesopotamia, where some Hebrews that was in Mesopotamia area, and then how did he went and got Rebecca, and then she come back and got with our father Isaac. And then, man, how I'm here to tell you that if it wasn't for our mother Rebecca, man, it'd be curtains for us, because how she saved the Israelite nation. Here it is, Edom will go run off and mate with the with the no pigmented folks. The white girls. Edom left and got down with the white girls. The first one to record to go get with the no pigmented peoples. And Almighty God tell us that that going to mate with the other ethnic groups, and how it's easy to get took men out your heritage. And then that's what happened to Edom. And Edom got took out of his heritage easily. And Edom descendants wasn't worshipers of Almighty Yah. That's why Almighty Yah hated Edom. And then Edom gonna fall off, but because Edom had went over into the Hittites and so forth. And then Almighty Yah was against that. So I'm gonna show how it grieved our mother, and then how our mother saved us from saved our heritage from Edom getting it. Edom could have easily destroyed our heritage by our heritage falling over to him. But how our mother sent sent Joseph in, and then sent Jacob in, and then he got the blessings and so forth. And then how Edom sold his heritage. Edom was a sellout too. And then that's like with Jacob's sons. How our mother Rachel saved the Israelite nation too by doing what she did. All right, so let's find this here man about Edom. Yeah, because Edom went over to the Hittites, and then it grieved our mother and father, that he did that. Let's see if I can find that. Then all of a sudden, Isaac gave up the ghost. Let's see. Should have been right up in here. I can't believe that I can't find it. Abraham. Alright. Yeah, so our mother, saved the Israelite nation. Me and Rebecca did. Let me see in that piece. Alright. I can't understand why all of a sudden I can't. Alright. And Esau wives, the Canaanite wives. Alright, we know that Esau took the Canaanite wives, and how it was a grief to Isaac. Let's see that. Man. Alright, that's Esau and Sarah. And let's see. Man, I can't believe I can't find that verse all of a sudden. And then when I get off the scriptures, let's see. Yeah, Hebrews, Edom would go over to the Hittite tribes, and then would have had took our heritage there, but our mother Rebecca saved that from happening. And then how she stop that from happening. And here it go right here. All right, it took a little minute, man. If you go to Genesis, Genesis 26, and then I'm gonna just show that how it was a grief to a grief to Isaac that Esau had did what he did. Look, and Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judith, the daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Bishman, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, which was a grief of man unto Isaac and Rebekah. And then this is how our mother saved the Israelite nation, is because she sent the prophet, our father Jacob, in there to his father Isaac to get the blessings. To get the blessings. And then, man, if she hadn't did that, man, the whole Israelite nation would have been lost and everything would have been messed off. But by Almighty Yah working through her, and how she saved the Israelite nation. Look, and it come to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes was dim, so we already know that Esau and already took the cave folks, what I'm saying, the cave women and stuff. I show you that the Hittites were underground in Turkey and so forth, and how those are Cain descendants, and then the Cain and the Nephilims, and then how Edom got mixed up in them, and then how it was a grief to our father Isaac and our mother Rebekah. All right, and it come to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes was dim so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here am I. And he said, behold, now I am old, and I know that the day of my death. Now, therefore, take, I pray thee, thy weapon and thy quiver and thy bow, and go out to the field and take me visions, and make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me that I may eat, and that my soul may bless thee before I die. Now, this is the oldest son. It's just tradition to pass the blessings down to the first son, because he going to have the most wisdom. He going to be with the daddy the longest, taking care of the business, and he going to know everything. So the daddy usually pass everything down to the eldest son. But our mama Rebecca and them peep that, hey man, Edom done went off into them cave folks, and our heritage gonna go, and our blessings gonna go off that way, and that ain't what Almighty Yah want. She was a worshiper of Almighty Yah, and she was saving the Israelite nation. All right, and Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt for vision and to bring it. Look, and Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, bring me vision and make me savory meat that I may eat, and least and bless thee before the Elohim, before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. So Jacob gonna honor his mama, whether she wrong or right or wrong. He gonna go on and do what she say. He gonna go on and do what she say. She a strong woman. Man, I'm talking about, being out there in them days, a beautiful woman, man, and a strong woman, the enemy gonna try to snatch them up. But how we Israelites and Hebrews, us Hebrews, was able to hold it down. The Israelite nation gonna come from Jacob. All right. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, and that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me, and shall seem to him as a deceiver. You know what I'm saying? He said, man, I'm gonna be seen as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me and not a blessing. His mother said unto him, men upon him, upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice and go fetch them. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother, and his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were within the house, and put them on Jacob, her youngest son, and put the skins on the kids, the goat and skins, and the smooth around his neck, and gave the savory meat, the bread which she had prepared, into the hand of her son Jacob. And he come unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here am I, who art thou, my son? And he said, Jacob said unto my father, I am Esau thy firstborn. I have done according as thou biddest me. And arise, I pray thee, and eat of my visions, that my soul may be blessed. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because the Elohim thy Yah brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, and I pray thee, that I may feel thee and my son, whether thou be my very son or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac and the father, and he felt him, and said, That voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he disconcerned him not, because his hands was hairy, and his brother's hands. So he blessed him and said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Bring near. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? He blessed our father Jacob, which was a good thing. Because if Esau would have got the blessings, then Esau would have passed our heritage over to the Hittite tribes, as the Edomites and our enemies became one and got our heritage now. And this will be a motivation for the Edomites wanting to destroy us and drive us out the land when we come out of Egypt and occupied the promised land, because he was mixed up with them Canaanite tribes. You know, he was mixed up with the Canaanite tribes, the Edomite was. So, you know, our mama Rebecca saved us. You know what I'm saying? That if it wasn't for her pulling that move, everything would have went over to to the Edomites and the Canaanite tribes. In the prophecies that Almighty Yah had prophesied to Abraham, couldn't have never got off the ground. It would have got defeated. All right, so we know Leah and Rachel with the prophet Jacob, and how we will have the 12 tribes, the sons coming from them, and then how I explained, you know, the tribe of Ephraim from Joseph, and how that Joseph's children would be included in the tribes, and then how that they would mix even with the tribe of Judah, as I just showed, the Ephrathites or Ephraimites and Judites. All right, and then the next one gonna be the sister Deborah, and then how she handled business. Now I just showed that how she was from the tribe of Ephraim, and then how that she prophesied that Sisera dude death, and then how he ended up dying, but how she was a woman that led the Israelite nation during the judge era, when it wasn't no male leaders to stand up, and how enemies was hard on the males, and then how the females had to stand up, and she was one of them. Now, this sister Esther, man, the sister Esther, man. Now, man, I got a video, man, about her and how she handled the business and saved the Israelite nation during the exile times, you know, during the exile times, and then how sister Esther, you know, was picked, and then, you know, chosen over some more women, and then how them Israelite women was working together in captivity. You know, the king's chambermaids, the maid chamberlains, you know what I'm saying, them Hebrew women, you know what I'm saying, and how, you know, that all the sisters was working together during the Babylonian captivity. That's quiet kept history that our enemies ain't gonna never explain, but how I explained in that video. And then how Sister Esther was able to save the Israelite nation in captivity. She was able to save them, and by overturning a decree that our enemies had made to destroy us, you know, to destroy the exiles, you know what I'm saying, who was eventually destroyed because they start messing off when they come back to the promised land. But that sister Esther saved the Israelite nation, you know, saved the Israelite nation, you know, saved the Israelite nation in captivity. All right, so that's another thing. If you know that some of those Ephrathites, that's Benjamin and Ephraim, and that it couldn't have been no 10 lost tribes, because you see, the Ephrathites would have went in, the Ephraim would have went into captivity with the Judites during the Babylonian captivity, but I showed it how those are Jewish myths, and it never was any 10 lost tribes. Now the next one, man, is gonna be that Sister Holder. Man, this was towards our end. Man, this is towards our end. This is a prophetess. And then how she told us that it was gonna be over, and how that we was gonna get the curses and everything. And that's after uh, uh King Josiah cleaned up the promised land of the Egyptian worship. But how she prophesied our end would still come, and then it eventually came. The Babylonians drove us off the promised land, and then we would go into Africa to be enslaved. And the Sister Helder history is gonna be, I think that's gonna be Second Chronicles 30, I think. 30, let me see, 34. 34, and then, man, I'm going to read this real quick, because it's important that, during this time, man, I think the Hebrews even donated and came together, and, man, we was up off the Egyptian religion, and we was kind of be one, and trying to do right, doing under King Josiah, who was a prophecy king. And then how the Egyptians killed him and put us on Egyptian religion. All right, and then that's where the Sister Hilda would make her prophecy. All right. Josiah was 8 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned in Jerusalem 130 years. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Elohim, and walked in the ways of David his father, and declined neither to the right hand nor to the left. For in the 8th year of his reign, while he was yet young, he began to seek after the Yah of David his father. And in the 12th year he began to purge Judah and Jerusalem from the high places, and the groves, and the carved images, and the molten images. And they break down the altars of Balaam in his presence, and the images that were high above them he cut down, and the groves, and the carved images, and the molten images he brake in pieces, and made dust of them, and strode it upon the graves of them that had sacrificed upon them. And he burnt the bones of the priests upon their altar, and cleansed Judah and Jerusalem. And so did he in the cities of Manasseh, Ephraim, Simon, even unto Naphtali, with their mattucks round about. Now those names of those tribes are gonna be the tribes that just wasn't all mentioned during his great granddaddy, who named off the tribes that was there, that had escaped the Assyrian captivity. I explain this in plenty of videos. All right. And when he break down the altars and the groves, and had beaten the groves images into powder, and cut down all the idols throughout all the land of Israel, he returned to Jerusalem. Now in the 18th year of his reign, when he had purged the land and the houses, let me see, when he had purged the land and the house, and he sent Shaphan, the son of Azaliah, and Messiah, the governor of the city, and Joel, the son of Joash, the recorder, to repair the house of the Elohim, his Yah. And when they come to Hezekiah, the high priest, that's going to be Prophet Jeremiah, father. And they delivered the money that was brought into the house of Yah, which the Levites that kept the doors had gathered of the hand of Manasseh and Ephraim, of all the remain of Israel, and all of Judah and Benjamin. And they returned to Jerusalem. Look, you see, all Israel that they done went and collect some money from the people, and the people donated and gave money freely. It's like now, man, it's kind of hard to get some Hebrews to donate to a organization, unless you believing in that Jesus stuff. Then they'll pour the money on you. But man, if you ain't no Jesus organization, and you seeking a little assistance from the Israelites, man, it's hard, it's rough. But how that we had came together and contribute during King Josiah time. A good king, a prophecy king. And and they put it in the hand of the workmen that had the oversight of the house of the Elohim, and they gave it to the workmen that wrought in the house of the Elohim to repair and amend the house. Even to the artificers and the builders gave they it to buy hewn stone and timber for couplers, and to the floor, and to the house which the king of Judah had destroyed. And the men that did the work faithfully, and the overseers of them, were Jahath and Obadiah, and the Levites, the son of Murray, and Zechariah, Mishloom of the sons of the Korites, to set it forward, and others of the Levites, and all that could skill of instruments of music. So they was fixing the temple, jamming some music. Everybody was having a good time. All right. Also, they were the bearers of the burdens, were the overseers of all that wrought the work in the manner of the service of the Levites. There were scribes and officers and porters. And when they brought out the money that was brought into the house of the Elohim, Hilkiah the priest found the book uh, of the law of the Elohim and given to Moses. Now, it's a couple of times that we didn't have the book and we was functioning, but the people forgot the ways. That's like, man, the tribe of Ephraim, and man, the northern kingdom was on Egyptian religion. So, that was right at Judah's front door, but it was times that, man, the people, man, forgot the law. And because they were so caught up in the Egyptian work, and then they find it and want to do it again. You know what I'm saying? I can show, look, a time that we didn't know the law. Let me see. That'd be Judges 8:34. Let's see the times that we didn't know the law. Judges 8:34. All right. Let's see Judges 8:34. Let's see what it say. Judges 8:34. Yeah, it's gonna be times we ain't know the law and we in the land. We on the land. That's like when we go into Africa. We done forgot the law. Let me see. I see this. 8:34. All right. Good. And the children of Israel, this Judges 38, Judge 8:34. And the children of Israel remembered not the Elohim their Yah, who had delivered them out of the hands of all their enemies on every side. So, if they forgot the law, they didn't have the book. They ain't gonna have the book in the covenant contract. All right, let's go to Judges 2:15. Judges 2:15. So it's times we ain't know the law. 2:15. 2:15. Let's see. Let me see. 2:15. Judges. Judges 2:15. Let's see. I see Judges 2:15. Whatsoever they were out. Whethersoever they went out, the hand of the land was against them in evil, and he said unto them, Elohim had sworn unto them, and they was greatly distressed. Nevertheless, the Lord raised up judges. All right, so then the people ain't gonna know the law during this time, and they forsook the Elohim and served Baal and Ashtaroth, and they forsook the Elohim of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt. So they ain't gonna know the law. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna know the law, and they gonna be forgot. And also all the generations were gathered unto the fathers, and there arose another generation after them, which knew not the Elohim, nor yet the works which he had done for Israel. So, it's times that we didn't know the law. And then that was one of the times that we didn't know the law. And King Josiah cleaned it up, showed you that he was a prophecy king from the creator that come to pass, because the people didn't even know the law, and he was serving Almighty Yah from his heart, and he didn't even know the instructions and so forth, as this finna show. Look, and Hilkiah answered and said unto Shaphan the scribe, I have found the book of the law in the house of the Elohim. And Hilkiah delivered the book to Shaphan, and Shaphan carried the book to the king, and brought the king word back again, saying, all that was committed to thy servants, they did it, and they gave And they have gathered together the money that was found in the house of the Elohim, and have delivered it into the hand of the overseers, and to the hand of the workmen. Then Shaphan the scribe told the king, saying, Hezekiah the priest had given me a book. And Shaphan read it before the king. And it come to pass, when the king had heard the words of the law, that he rent his clothes. And the king commanded Hezekiah and Hakim the son of Shaphan, and Adon the son of Micah, and Shaphan the scribe, and Asiah the servant of the king, saying, Go and inquire of the Elohim for me, and for them that are left in Israel and in Judah, concerning the words of the book that is found. For great is the wrath of the Elohim that is poured out upon us, because our fathers have not kept the word of the Elohim to do after all that is written in the book. And Hezekiah and they that the king had appointed went to Huldah. Look, you see that sister right there? I mean, they went to Huldah. Huldah, the prophetess, the wife of Shallum, the son of Tikva, the son of Hasrah, keeper of the wardrobe. Now she dwelt in Jerusalem in the college, and they spake to her to that effect. And she answered them, Thus said the Elohim of Israel, the Elohim Yah of Israel, tell the man that sent you to me, Thus said the Elohim, Behold, I will bring evil upon this place, and upon the inhabitants thereof, even all the curses that are written in the book which they have read before the king of Judah, because they have forsaken me, and have burned incense unto other gods, that they might provoke me to anger with all the works of their hands. Therefore my wrath shall be poured upon this place, and shall not be quenched. Now that sister Hilda told us our end, and it came to pass in the book of Jeremiah. In the book of Jeremiah, during the Babylonian wars, it was over. She kind of like the sister Esther was after her with the Babylonian captivity. But man, that sister Hilda, if we would have listened to her, man, we wouldn't have went into slavery, because King Josiah cleaned the land up, and all we had to do was just stay straight. And then the Egyptians killed King Josiah, put us on Egyptian religion, and then we would go into Africa. Now, I already mentioned the sister Hannah, and how she had prophet Samuel, who was of the tribe of Ephraim, Judah, Ephrathite. And that's going to be from the tribe of Ephraim in Judah. And how Boaz from that line, and Jesse. And then we already know about our mother Miriam helping prophet Moses. So all these women, and I know I probably done left out men, a couple of sisters and so forth, and I'm sorry about that, but you know what I'm saying, next time I do a video on them. But she was an Israelite, she was an Israelite, she was an Israelite, she was an Israelite, and she was an Israelite. Our other major mothers were Hebrews. They wasn't Israelites. Okay, Hebrews, this is a message from the Israelite Brotherhood. We got to give honor to our mothers and to our women today, because our women, man, today got a lot on their shoulders, man, and how they been carrying us since the transatlantic slave trade. And we Israelites pray that that Almighty Yah give us males the strength to lead, and we gonna lead when we get off and up under the control of this beast. But look what Almighty Yah said. How long wilt thou go about? This is Jeremiah 31. How long wilt thou go about, thou backsliding daughter? For the Elohim had created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. And then that happened in the slavery captivity, how our slave owners put all the responsibility and the power in our women hand, because they don't want the Hebrew males to have no power. They don't want no Hebrew males to have no power. But how that come to pass, and then I want to give thanks to you Hebrew sisters that's standing up now, that done come back to your heritage, because you finna make up the Israelite nation that's finna serve Almighty Yah. So all you sisters that's listening to me, I want to give thanks to you for coming back into your Israelite heritage, and that the Israelite brotherhood got love for you, and how we family, and how that the Israelite sisters, man, it is our strength and our backbone right now in this captivity, and how that we would have been perished if it wasn't for the Hebrew sister carrying us on and so forth. All right, this is a message from the Israelite Brotherhood. I want to give honor to the Hebrew women and our mothers, that help, form the Israelite nation. This is a message from the Israelite Brotherhood. Shalom, sisters, and the Israelite Brotherhood love you.